Okay, my name's Jennifer Crape and I'm the Moorage Coordinator for Colville Bay Marina. I think right now the biggest issue we have with the quaggas is people absolutely wanting to protect their boats. We've taken over the hydro hoist business. People want to have their boats lifted out of the water to keep the maintenance down on them. Okay, we do have several certified staff to be able to decontaminate the boats. We do have to pay the cost to maintain the quagga station. The customer needs to pay hourly depending on the size of the boat and how dirty the boat is. Could rack up a pretty nice bill. What happens pretty much is to get across state lines or to go into another body of water, we have to be able to prove that we've decontaminated them with certificates to get them through state lines. And even with that, it doesn't guarantee that they can get through. They can possibly have their boats quarantined for 30 days, which is not a cheap operation either. Colville Bay Marina has over 760 slips. Right now we're at about 83% full. We're coming into our boating season, so we'll be filling up quite a bit for the summer. Most of the slip boats do stay in place. There are people that will put their boats in just for the boating season. But when they do pull their boats, we do recommend and highly recommend them to have their boats decontaminated, even if they're going to be going to sit in their backyards. Right, as I guess it depends on how many times a year they use their boats. The more the boats are used, the less buildup they're going to have, but typically I recommend every 6 months. Yes, Colville Bay does host the training classes here. People fly in from all across the country to do hands-on decontamination at our quagga station. We're happy to host them. Normally I do try to find a few boats for demonstration purpose. Yes, basically when I sign a new customer up with Colville Bay, what I'll do is give them a welcome packet, and it has all kinds of information on what we can do to decontaminate, information on the quaggas. We try to just do what we can to let people know that they're out there and want to stop the spread. I think we've seen a lot of people show great interest in protecting their property, so they've done their research and know what we have, and a lot of people want to oblige. They don't want to spread them either. So a lot of helpful slip customers we've been getting in who want to really make sure that not only protect their property but to stop the spread of them. Yeah, now we have to make sure that we do have staff that goes through the training. We do have to pull them from other parts of jobs that they normally do to go and do the decontamination. We need to also maintain the decontamination station, and that's a costly thing for us. We do charge $85 an hour to recover the money for staff and training and maintenance of the quagga station. Typically, a 20-foot runabout would cost about 2 hours at $85 an hour. And then again, they would come to see me to have to get their documentation to be able to leave. All I can say is don't move a muscle, because they multiply so fast, and prevention is going to be costing you way less than it would cost if you're going to have to keep up with the maintenance, and we've definitely seen that. Typically, when the boat's being pulled out of the water, it's up to the boat mover that comes in, and we do use a few of them. Sometimes we will move their boats to the launch ramp and help them get them up the hill to load. Other times we'll have boat movers that will actually go down and pick the boat up from the water. All of the boat haulers that come into the national park need a commercial authorization use form showing that they are allowed to do work in the park. And not only that, they're going to have approval from the general manager here at Colville Bay Marina. And from there, after they do have the boat decontamination, they're going to have to show documentation that we did decontaminate the boat. Yeah. We strongly recommend decontaminations to everyone leaving, but we can't make them do it. So there are possibilities that they can slip through the cracks. Park Service, when the decontaminations are done, are notified. I will fax them a decontamination report showing that we did do the decontamination. And what I do is I will give them a copy of the decontamination report and an invoice and a statement that shows that they have paid the fee to have the decontamination done. It doesn't guarantee that they'll get through, but at least they have it to show that we did do a decontamination. We probably do about 1 or 2 decontaminations a month here at Colville Bay, so anywhere from 12 to 24 a year, I would say, on average. Especially the large slip boats, there's not a whole lot of movement. On the small ones, sometimes we'll have customers that, will call and schedule one with me just to get all of that, the quaggas off the bottom of the boat and go back into their slips. We try to, when we host the decontamination classes, we try to ask the customers if they want a decontamination while we're at it, just to give them a service and also provide for the class.